Boop, 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 boop. Hey guys, I'm gonna try and put some music on. We may have my dog kind of hanging out a little bit and moving my backup towel and strap over to the side. So if you saw my post on the Facebook page, I'm gonna walk through a pose that I think is quite a bit of fun. Bound Bird of Paradise. If you're familiar with Bird of Paradise, it is a big shoulder, a lot of balance. Bound Bird of Paradise, rather than taking it from that side angle variation, we're going to be coming from a yogic squat. With that in mind, we will have to warm up appropriately to get our shoulders more open and more mobile, our quads a little bit more warm, a little more mobile, as well as our hips. So you'll see me kind of doing some funky twists and everything so you can see the various positions I have to put my body into. Mind you, my shoulders are a little tight today from all the push-ups the other day and the snatching yesterday. So I'm going to take a little more time to get my shoulders a lot more open so I can better go for that grip. Now, with most balance poses, one side will always be a little bit easier than the other. Now, I'm not saying it'll be a night and day difference where one side you're automatically able to hit like this beautiful posture with absolutely flawless and you're not making a face. It may be you just notice, oh, I can ground through my foot a little better on this side. I can open up my shoulders a little more on this side. So it's not always this huge night and day difference. In fact, if it is, we might need to work on that. It should be a minorly noticed difference. So we are going to start in a seated position. You can see my dog hanging out back there. I'll be booting her out of the way in a little bit or working around her, which most people who have dogs know that that's a thing you have to do. We're going to start seated. Legs can be crisscrossed. You can elevate your hips with a block, a book, or a bolster if you choose to do so. You don't have to do it. And I just want you to start to slow down your breathing and start to notice how it's feeling. So in some yoga classes, I'll say, notice the texture of your breath. When I'm referring to the texture of your breath, is it shallow? Is it coming like in short little, almost gaspy breaths? Is it deep? Is it full? Do you have to require effort to do it? Is it a little less effort put into it? That's what I mean by noticing the texture of your breathing and then starting to mold the breathing, your breath, into what works for you, which for us today is going to be a calming, full belly breaths. We're not breathing really high in your chest. You're breathing really deep into the bottom of your rib cage, feeling your belly get big, and exhaling, allowing everything to relax a little bit more. So inhale, getting tall, filling your chest, filling your belly, and on your exhale, releasing down. If you choose to take a breathing practice, you can do the Ujjayi breathing where you're making that sound of the ocean or the Darth Vader breath, whatever you feel like calling it, where it's an inhale through the nose for a count of 6 with a slight pause at the top and a slight constriction in the back of your throat. You are essentially making the sound of the ocean or Darth Vader with your breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose after a slight pause. If Ujjayi breathing is not what you're wanting to work on, you just want to focus on breathing through movement, go for it. Thinking, oh, yeah, I need to recognize my breath, recognize my breathing pattern, making sure everything is full. I will not be practicing Ujjayi breathing because talking and doing that breath pattern is not easy and it leaves me kind of lightheaded. And I don't want to be lightheaded while I'm doing a practice. So inhale nice and full. You can close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Exhale. Allow yourself to settle. Allow your sits bones, your butt bone to press down into the mat or carpet. Allow your hands to be heavy here. Willow has decided my breathing is too loud for her. On one of my yoga chill stations. Boom. And give yourself a slight body scan here. Notice how your shoulders are feeling, and if they're feeling like a little tight and bunched up towards your ears. On your inhale, roll your shoulders up to your ears and allow them to slide down your back. Inhaling, bring the shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, sliding them down your back. I'm going to pivot to a side angle. When you're thinking of that big inhale, chest is lifting, rib cage is lifting up. On your exhale, we're settling down. You're starting to feel your hips get a little, if you're noticing some tightness in your torso, so maybe your back's a little tight from doing a lot of the hunching at the desk. We're going to inhale, lift up, get nice and tall. Reach your hands to the sky so we're super tall here. Exhale, we're going to twist towards your right, or you can twist to your left, whichever's easier for you. We're going both directions. So on your inhales, getting big, getting tall. On your exhale, twisting a little deeper here. A few more breaths here. On your next inhale, we're going to untwist. Big reach up overhead. Fingertips reaching towards the sky here. Exhale, twisting towards your left. So I tend to adjust where my bicep is beside my chest here rather than on top. It's just a little more comfortable for me. Just a slight adjustment you can think of to make any posture a little, not necessarily comfortable, but a little more accessible. Inhaling, getting tall, exhaling, twisting a little deeper here. On your inhale, we're going to unwind, big reach up overhead. I'm going to intertwine my fingers and press my palms to the sky. Nice and tall here. Giving myself a little wiggle because it feels good. Hands come down, resting on your quads and alarm music, just a scotch. So to get back into those shoulders a little more, because like I said at the beginning, we're going to do Bound Bird of Paradise, which is going to have a lot of shoulders. We're going to intertwine our fingers at our low back. Inhale here. On your exhale, roll your shoulders down your spine. Allow your chin to tuck. Maybe. Lift your chest. Lift your chin. We're not looking straight up at the ceiling. You're kind of looking at where your ceiling and your wall meet. And we're going to unclasp those hands, roll those shoulders out a little. Intertwine those fingers together. I'm going to press my palms forward, curl that spine in. Or out. Side effects. I was sanding before I did this, so I might have a little bit of sawdust on me. Getting that big stretch in that upper back here. And we're going to undo this. Shake it out if you need to. We're going to move into tabletop. We're going to go through Sun A a few times just as a way to help warm up the body. I'm going to get very warm. I can already tell that. So tabletop, hands will stack underneath your underneath elbows, underneath shoulders. Knees are underneath your hip sockets here. Move through cat and cow. So allow that belly to drop down, gaze come up. On your exhale, press through your fingers, curl your spine in. Maybe come onto those fingertips. Move with breath here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. We're gonna move into puppy dog pose. So knees are gonna stay stacked underneath your hips here. Hands will walk out in front of you. Chest sinks down. We're gonna take 3 to 4 breaths here. And we'll go for that side body stretch. So I can talk forward a little easier here. It's gonna be a lot of upper shoulders into that upper back. 2 more breaths. And we're going to walk our hands to the left, push your rib cage to the right. So coming into this position, getting a nice stretch in that side body. Four to 5 breaths. We're going to switch sides. Hands will walk to the right. Rib cage pushes to the left. We're going to walk our hands through to midline. We're going to get into a little bit of that inner thigh because we're going to have to do a lot for the shoulders and the hips to get them open enough to really hit a good bird of paradise. So we're going to send that right foot out to the side, rotate that whole foot down. We're going to try and pull your hip down here. So let's see if you can get a good side angle here. So naturally, a lot of people's hips want to kind of pop up a little bit. We want to pull your hips level. So right hip and left hip are level here. Whole foot is pressed down. So I'm pressing through that outer portion of my foot. This can really wake up that inner thigh area. As you need more stretch, push your hips back towards your heels. The more you press through that outer portion of your foot, the more sensation you may even get along your ankle. So if you did Monday's workout with a bunch of jumping jacks on a not great surface, I did mine on cement, your ankles may not be super happy with you. I want to back out, weight shifts forward, right leg slides in. We're going to do the same thing on that left side. So left foot's going to go out the side, rotating that whole foot down, squaring up the hips. And I take a few breaths with my hips squared because if you're tight, you need that extra few breaths before you start to push back. So hips are level, then hips go towards heels as you need a deeper stretch. When you're ready, we're going to come back into tabletop, and we will move into down dog. So, you remember kind of the way I talked about doing down dog to ensure you get nice open shoulders? Toes curl under, hips lift, and then hands push chest back. So if you notice, my knees are still bent here. If you have tight hamstrings, stay here. As your hamstrings get looser, you can press your heels down to the mat. Let that head hang heavy here. I'm not craning to look forward. I'm not tucking my chin. It's just head's hanging relatively heavy here. Paddle out those feet. So I'm going to lift my left heel, drive my right heel down. Pedal out those feet. We're going to move into that high plank. Boom. Lower down knees. Chest and chin. Pull through for your baby cobra. We're going to stand on our bellies just a little bit longer here because we're already here. I want to get more into those shoulders. So left hand is going to plant. That right arm is making a right angle with the body. We're going to roll over that right shoulder. My left leg can come over. If you got the mobility, you can bring that right leg over as well. Five to six breaths here. If you need more time, you take more time. I'm going to let my right leg go. My left leg comes over. I roll all the way back over onto my belly. Switch sides. That right hand plants. Left arm goes long. So we're making that right angle with our left arm, 90 degrees. Come over that shoulder. Ooh. Five to six breaths here. Left leg goes long, right leg comes over, come all the way back onto your belly. We're going to do a laid down version of thread the needle. My left hand's going to plant. I'm just going to slide my right hand behind my left wrist. And this might be enough for you here. As you want a deeper stretch, that left arm is going to reach across. So you're getting into a real funky position here. I'm getting a lot of stretch in the top part of my shoulders. My elbows are planted on the ground here. And to make this more active, I'm imagining that I'm physically pulling my shoulders from up near my chin to down my spine. If you've done that weird IT band stretch that I'll do where you stack your knees on top of each other on your back and pull your knees into your chest, we're doing a similar thing here. I'm pulling my chest through, pulling my shoulders back. And we're going to allow everything to come down to the mat, uncross, shake it out. So shake out those shoulders. And we're going to switch sides to where that left hand comes through and the right arm is in front. And rather than relaxing here, I'm pulling the shoulders back, down my spine, pushing my chest forward. This is giving me a lot in the front part of my shoulders here. And I'm sure it looks very awkward. Life's awkward. We're all a little awkward. Just roll with it. A few more breaths here, still thinking about being very active through the shoulders, pulling them down your spine and pushing that chest through. And we're going to untwist, so elbows are going to slide out. Just hold your arms out long. Reach forward like you're trying to pull yourself across the floor. Just get a nice long stretch. Hands come in under the shoulders. We're going to push back into tabletop, into down dog. Gaze is going to come between your fingertips and walk your feet towards your hands. In this position, bend your knees as much as you need to make this posture lessen the back and get more of your chest and belly onto your thighs. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. As you need a deeper stretch, try and keep your chest and belly on your thighs as your hips lift. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little deeper if you can make it. Reach to rise, head comes up last. Big reach up overhead. I'm going to have to adjust this shot a little bit. Let me adjust this. Beep, beep. Nope, too much. Because Bound Bird Paradise is going to have me standing for a good chunk of it. All right, so big reach up overhead, hands through to heart center. Hands down to side. Wiggle it out if you need to. Readjust your pants if you need to. Roll those shoulders out. Give yourself some shoulder swings, arm swings. To help keep with getting warm, we're going to go through Sun A 2 more times. And we're going to move a little more quickly through them as a way just to help build a little bit of heat in the body. So on that inhale, big reach up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend those knees, plant those hands, step back. Chaturanga through, coming into up dog. Moving in to down dog. Gaze will come between your hands. You're gonna bend those knees, step or jump those feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach to rise, head comes up last. Big reach up overhead. Nice and strong here. Second variation, if you like this variation, you can always add up to sub it in. We're gonna get swan dive forward. So big reach up on that inhale, exhale, hands come out to the side, chest leads, chest, chest. Then you fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant those hands. You shoot back for your chaturanga. Pull through for your up dog. Down dog. Inhale, gaze is going to come between your fingertips. Bend those knees. Step, jump, or hop those feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, head comes up last. Big full body stretch up overhead. Shake it out. Hands through to heart center. Now, we're going to build a little bit more, kind of hybridizing a Sun A and a Sun B. So we need to focus on getting those shoulders open. If you have a strap or a towel or a belt or a scarf nearby, this might be something good to hold on to. So this is a belt that is now my strap. On your inhale, we're going to do big lift up overhead. Exhale, fold through to heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands plant. Step back into that plank. Move through your chaturanga. Down dog. That right foot is going to step through between your hands. So heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. See my feet a little better. I tend to go more heel to arch. You want to pull that right hip back, push that left hip forward. Nice strong bend, pressing through that back heel. Hands can be at your heart. Hands can reach up overhead. We're going to open up into a warrior two. So warrior two, hips open. You are going to pull that pelvis underneath you. Pull the rib cage down. Relax the shoulders down your spine. Gaze is forward here. Still have that nice strong bend. So if you look down, you should be able to see your big toe. Make sure you can see everything that I'm about to do. We're going to reverse your warrior. So that left hand's going to slide down your left leg. Right arm reaches up. Side angle. Right forearm comes down to your thigh. Left hand either reaches up or towards where your ceiling and wall meet. Hips are open. We're not resting and collapsing. We're pressing through, getting tall. We're going to reverse the warrior. So left hand can either slide down or wrap around your low back. This is where your strap's going to come in. We're going to opt for a bind here coming through that side angle. So without the strap, that right arm can come down to the ground. We're going to scoop that right arm up. Left arm drops behind. So you can see the back angle of it. My right arm has dropped. We're scooping that right hand up. Left arm drops. Boom. If your shoulders do not let you do that, grab that strap in your left hand. Drop it down. Catch it. Boom. Few breaths here. Allow that right hand to plant. We're going to pivot. Step back. Option to flow through here. Down dog. I was a little too close to the end table. Big inhale here. Exhale, just sigh it out through your mouth. Left leg, warrior one. Boom. We're going to come up so you can see a little bit of a front angle. That left hip pulls back. That right hip pushes forward. Nice strong bend. Rib cage is still pulled under. Hands can stay at heart or reach up overhead. Warrior one. Pressing through that back foot. Open up. Warrior two. Thinking about tucking that pelvis under, pulling your rib cage down. Relax those shoulders. In your warrior two, we're not reaching forward yet. We're still trying to keep everything nice and stacked. Gaze is forward. This is where I start to sweat and I get a little breathless as I talk. Right hand slides down, left arm reaches up, reverse your warrior. Side angle, pressing through that left forearm. Right arm either reaches straight up or towards the front or where your ceiling and wall meet. Reverse that warrior. We're going to go for that side angle bind where that left hand will slide down. Scoop up. Ooh, my shoulder popped. Drop that right hand. We're here. You still have to keep a very deep bend in that front leg and think about opening up your chest. When you're ready, we're going to untwist, pivot forward, flow through, or meet and down dog. Shake your head out. When we look forward this time, instead of jumping our feet towards the inside, so towards our thumbs, we're going to drop our feet towards our pinkies to come into a nice deep yogic squat here. So, back up a little bit because this is where we're going to get into bound bird of paradise. Heels are down, so if you need to bump your feet out a little wider, bump your feet out a little wider here. And we're just going to shift back and forth. Hands can be together, or you can press fists together, driving those knees out. I'm going to take a nice little twist here. This is another place where if you don't feel like playing with bound bird of paradise today, that's fine. There's a lot of options stacking on top of each other to get to that position. So starting, right hand comes down, left arm reaches up. Really think about opening up that chest here. We do this on the wall to prep for snatches all the time. Cool. This may be where you're at today. You can opt to bring this into a bind. So that right arm is going to scoop around, left hand drops behind. So if you want the bind and your shoulders won't quite cooperate with you, hold it in your left hand. And you can use that to help leverage yourself. Looking from a front angle, you don't have to do this the whole time I'm talking through. I'm having to bring my chest down to scoop my bicep in front of my knees. Boom. So this is where Bound Bird of Paradise comes in. Your weight is going to shift onto your left foot, come onto your right tippy toes. There you go, your starting position 1. As you feel you get balanced and tight, press through that left foot and come to a full standing posture. I find pointing my toes helps to keep everything tight. This is Bound Bird of Paradise. As you're ready, shift that weight forward, bend that knee, and there you go. To help loosen everything up, we are going to take it into a child's pose before we go for that opposite side. So, knees down, heels together, knees together, arms reach forward. We're going to go knees wide, toes together, second set child's pose. I'm going to walk those hands in, bring your knees together. Just shift back into that yogic squat. I'm just pressing my toes down, shifting my weight back, coming back into that nice deep yogic squat. So we're going to follow that same progression on the left side. I'm going to talk through it a little faster since we've just done it on the right. So boom, yogic squat. I like it here. I'm going to hang out here. I want more. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches up. Okay, I like this. I can hang out here. I want more. I go for that bind, allowing that left arm to scoop up, right hand drop behind, grabbing onto my fingertips here. Cool. I like this here. This feels good. I'm wanting to push myself a little harder today. My weight is going to shift into my right foot. I'm going to come up onto my left tippy toes. Once I feel balanced here, press through that right foot, coming up to a full standing posture. Cool. I got Bound Bird of Paradise. This is awesome. My knee is pressing into my bicep. Not exactly a comfortable feeling, but hey, this looks fun. I'm looking at a point that's not moving. Because if I am looking at myself right now, which I am, my ankle is doing a lot of wiggles. When you're doing balanced postures, you want to find a point that's not moving. I'm going to let those arms hang out. Come into that child's pose again. Instead of allowing those arms to reach in front of you, just to give your shoulders a bit of a break, allow your hands to drop behind you, like you're kind of curling into a ball on yourself. So allow those shoulders to relax here. If you want to play with Bound Bird of Paradise again, go for it. I'm going to move us into a little bit more of a relaxation, bringing everything down, taking a little bit of the strain off our shoulders. Hips are going to come down the side, legs are going to spin in front, soles of your feet are going to come together. You guys might be really familiar with a lot of this, what I'm going to step through. This is to help with working at a desk and help cool us back down. We are moving into the ease of our practice. Feet together, heels slide in. Wiggle until you feel your butt bone press down. On your inhale, lift up through your chest. On your exhale, fold forward. Hands land wherever it's convenient for you. In this position, I'm not thinking of bringing my head down. I'm thinking lean chest forward. So this might be where you're feeling it today. That's fine. It's a lot of inner hip, upper thigh, low back. As you want more, ease forward. Hands can stay on your feet or gently press your knees down. I personally like the variation where my hands are on my feet. My thumbs are on the insole. So I can kind of press on the arch of my foot. Give myself a little foot massage. And I'm going to press my elbows into my knee pits. Inhale, come up, shake it out, bump those feet out. We're making that bigger diamond. So we're taking about 1.5 to 2 feet between your crotch to your heel. It can vary. If you have longer legs, it might be longer. If you have shorter legs, it might be shorter. Same thing here though. We're going to wiggle, feel that butt bone press down. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Hands can reach in front. Hands can land on your feet, on your shin. And we're thinking leaning chest forward, bringing chest down versus bringing your forehead down. We're going to be here for at least 6 to 7 breaths. We're going to come up. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Do a nice little butt wiggle again. Feel your butt bone press down. If you have that strap or towel nearby, you can lasso the bottom of your feet. Inhale, lift here, trying to press your knees down so we're keeping those legs straight as you pull yourself forward. Three to 4 more breaths here, so taking it any deeper as you need it. On your next inhale, we're going to come up. We're going to hit reverse tabletop just as a quick pit stop today. Or I'm going to do reverse plank if reverse tabletop is what you prefer. Feet slide in. Hands are behind your bum. Fingertips either point out away from your body or in towards your bum. If you want reverse plank, legs go long. Point those toes. Regardless, you're going to lift your hips and tuck your chin or start to allow that head to fall back. Might feel a little flash dancey here. And then we're going to allow those hips to come down. Slide those feet in. You can come to laying on your back here or a comfortable seat. We're going to start moving towards wrapping up here. So I'm going to scooch a little closer. So if you are sitting, feel free to remain seated. If you would like to lay down on your back, please feel free to lay down on your back. And I'm just going to do a little bit of lightly guided meditation because what we did today took a lot of quad strength and it took a lot of open shoulders. So on your back or seated, notice your breathing. Notice that texture of your breathing. Smooth it out. Allow your breath to be full and nourishing here. Not this high chest breathing. We want that full belly breath. On your exhale, start to feel yourself relax into the ground, to start to melt slightly. And we're going to allow warmth. Rather than starting at our chest today, we're going to feel almost like you cracked an egg on your head and you got this nice little warm goo running down. Probably not the best word. But a warmth is starting at the crown of your head, just like a hot shower. And allow that warmth to melt down the sides of your eyes, releasing any tension you're holding in your temples. Allow that warmth to travel into your jaw, loosening your jaw, allowing it to hang heavy here. Allow that warmth to travel into your throat, easing your voice. The warmth travels into your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders down, moving down into your chest, slowing, allowing your heartbeat to be slow and determined, your breath full and satisfying. Allow that warmth to travel from your chest into your belly, filling you with warmth, like a nice shot of bourbon, if that's your preference, or a nice hot cup of tea, until you feel that entire upper body emanating warmth. On your inhale, feel yourself getting tall, and on your exhale, allow that warmth to travel into your hips, easing the tension in your hips, allowing them to release here. Feeling supported through the ground, the mat, whatever's underneath you. And then allow the warmth to travel into your legs. Allowing your feet to relax, toes to kind of open and flutter a little bit. Until with each breath, you're pulling in this beautiful, warm energy or light or sensation. On your exhale, everything relaxes down, allowing you to settle into your space. Eyes can be closed, or you can take a soft gaze. If you have I have some beautiful woods behind my house. I tend to focus more on the woods than closing my eyes. If you notice your mind starting to wander, because that happens, we're human. Notice those thoughts, acknowledge them for what they are, hold no judgment, just, it's a thought. And on your exhale, blow it away. Just like a little leaf tumbling into your path. Notice its color, notice how cute it is, and then use your exhale to just blow that leaf away. Please feel free to stay wherever you're at, if you can. If you need to get back to it, get back to it. Acknowledge how your body is feeling. Start wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, bringing sensation and movement back to your body. Maybe take a nice big full body stretch, kind of like you're waking up from a really good couch nap. Reaching those arms up, maybe rotating those wrists, toes point down, just getting nice and tall. Only when you're ready to move. I'm going to close class how I close class almost every time I teach. My hands are going to come together. I'm going to start at my forehead for kind thoughts, my mouth for kind words, and my heart for good intentions. Thank you so much for letting me guide this practice. Feedback is always welcome. You're welcome to message me on Facebook or what have you. If you have my number, text me. It's all good. Thank you so much for letting me guide you. I'll see you Friday for some restorative yoga. Have a nice afternoon, guys.